We are living on Ho-Chunk land. I'm Ho-Chunk, and my people have been here for time immemorial.
There have been Ho-Chunk people here for more than 10,000 years. To put that in perspective, when someone mentions that their family has been here for 5 generations, the roots of indigenous people go back 500 generations or more. Long before the white settlers came to these 4 lakes, Dejope, Ho-Chunk lived here and thrived in this area. But when the land was colonized, the Ho-Chunk were forced to cede their land and move to reservations across the Midwest. To acknowledge this history and attempt to build relations with the Ho-Chunk and the 11 other Native nations of Wisconsin, Our Shared Future was born in 2019.
This used to be the central hub of Ho-Chunk land. My name is Molly Paulette, and I am a member of the Ho-Chunk Nation. The land that we're on is extremely familiar to me. When I was growing up, it was a place that we'd visit. We'd always come through Madison. My mom would tell us stories about Madison. And then some of my older relatives who lived in the area would often explain the area to me and the lakes, the things that once were around the lakes and the activities that used to take place here, and then show us the mounds that still existed. Their existence is still a major achievement for indigenous people in the Midwest area. I think to the Ho-Chunk people, they're always going to be important and sacred.
As part of the 175th anniversary celebration, the university wanted to raise awareness in the campus community about the true history of this land.
Marianne Fairbanks from the School of Human Ecology was inspired to collaborate with somebody to do a more meaningful historic design. I went ahead creating the design, and then Stephen put our vision together in a beaded framework. If you look at the design up close, it's like 160,000 beads. The design is actually the bottom panel of a bandolero bag. It has the shape of a messenger bag, kind of like a side bag that would be at your hip, and the strap would go over one of your shoulders. The 4 squares represent the 4 lakes of Dejope. That's what Ho-Chunks call this area, is the 4 lake area. And I wanted a Thunderbird in there because that's the chief's clan. We're often walking along the lake shore to the Union, into the dorms, into our classes. So I wanted to make sure that there was flowers in there. The hills are kind of like the jagged edges and how that kind of goes on the triangles and what that kind of looks like in the area. The animal symbols represent the 12 clans of the Ho-Chunk Nation. Initially, when the banners went up, I was not nervous at all until it came to the realization of what an impact they would have on not only American Indian students, but indigenous students from Central America, South America, and then just students of color, and how it gave them a different representation while they're here on campus. I've been told that it kind of even welcomed them more to campus and made them feel more like this is definitely something that they can call home to. It's important for the students to learn about this land and the United States and the history before European history started. There's this huge indigenous history that's thousands of years old that we haven't even started to really talk about, and the more that we share a little bit of Ho-Chunk history, that is even more intriguing to other people. The first buildings from this university were made by selling Indian land. And that's really a topic that most universities haven't even started to address. So the fact that we're talking about that and that's in conversation is huge. And the banners just help us to kind of open up those conversations. And that's what Seed by Seed is. You plant a seed, you get an idea, and we're hoping that students see that too. While I'm here, I'm gonna get an idea, I'm gonna pursue that idea, and it's gonna become achievable and researched and acknowledged by the university.